Hello dear coloring book friends, and welcome to a new video. I thought I was going to show you what I have colored in September, my finished pages. I have seen some other people doing these kind of videos and I really enjoyed watching them, like May Brox. Thank you for your video, it inspired me to do this. So this was the first picture I finished in September. It was started on a coloring book meetup where I met a lot of coloring friends and we sat and chat and colored and drank coffee and had a great day in the beginning of this month. And it's from Hanna Karlsson, Daydreams coloring book, and I used Arteza colored pencils for it and did the outlines with white Uniball Signo and Neocolor for the background. I think it was like 3 different blues, and the idea for this particular blue came from Reka Color, if you know Reka on Instagram, and Marie Mia Remakes, my coloring friends who were at this meetup, and they sat next to me, so I asked them for some help. And okay, this one I finished this month, and it was for a challenge in Johanna Basford Your Pages Facebook group. The idea was to divide a page, and they had choose like 4 or something like that different pages from Johanna Basford's books, and I chose this one. Oh, you can't hardly see it, but it's this like a fish, lot of fishes. It's from Secret Garden, and the idea was to do at least 3 squares, but you could do more, and I had this idea of a chessboard, so I created 62 squares. And well, this took me a lot of time. It's mostly Posca pen. It's Posca, white Posca and black Posca. And then it's white Posca, but not black Posca here. It's black gel pen with sparkle, because I wanted this to sparkle. I don't think you can see that, but it's all the details, almost all the details are sparkling. And I did a lot of different versions of these fishes, but ended up with just using cover every other attempt with gold Posca. So, well, I don't think this look very good, and I had to cover a lot of Johanna Basford's beautiful details on it, because otherwise it was just too crowded and it looked terrible. So I'm quite happy I did it, and it was a crazy experiment, but well, I don't think it look at all as I imagined it to do. And it was really hard because the paper is not white, it's ivory. It's a little bit more gray than I'm used to. So when I couldn't just leave the paper white, I needed to add white, and that was not that easy. I also tried some acrylic paint, but it didn't cover enough. Maybe it was a bad acrylic paint, I don't know, but the Posca pen worked better, but not perfect. And I also did some coloring in Christine Caron's Fairies Grayscale coloring book. I don't think it's that easy to color on grayscale pages. I have not done it much, but after I've done 2 now, I think it's kind of addictive. It's really fun, and I mean, I have not done the shadowing that is on the page from the start, but I add the color, and well, I don't remember. I think this was Prismacolor, and some gel pens for the wings, or maybe white Posca, I don't remember. So that was one fairy, and another fairy was this one, which I added to my September color along, Flaming September, because of these very orange leaves, and actually I maybe think it's too much orange in it. And my first plan was to do the background in blue, because blue and orange would look very well together. But I so like green, and I've seen Reka Color done a background similar to this with a little mini tutorial on her Instagram page that I watched, and she did her with Pablo. I used Prismacolors for my background, but I'm quite happy with it. And the skin took forever to do. I thought it was hard to cover these grayscale shadowings. He just looked so gray for a long time. I used Prismacolor and I used Luminance for the skin, but then I made a very big mistake. I put canary yellow on his everywhere where his highlights are, and he didn't look good. It looked terrible, but I succeeded to erase it, most of it. You can see a bit of it still, but it looks better now. I wanted it to look like he had a bit of sun in his face, but not that much. He looked like a chicken. So that was my grayscale coloring. I also color my first page in Laura Rafferty's Laura Colors 2, her Bluebell Woods, a fantasy coloring book, the first page. And I think it turned out to be a little bit too brown in the background. My plan was to do it more goldy, but my plan was also to make these shine. And well, at some point I took the wrong decision and took the wrong pencil, so it just turned very brown. But I'm quite happy with it anyway. And it feels so great that here she has written her name, illustrations by Laura Rafferty, and I could add my name here, coloring by. Yeah. And I guess you have seen this one because I showed it in another video. This was also for my Flaming September color along, which has ended now. But I had this idea to make this Autumn Winds bottle to glow. I like when things look like they are glowing. I try to add that to a lot of my pictures if I just can. And this is from Seasons coloring book. And mostly I just color in coloring books, but this month I have done some prints. I printed out some PDFs because I found a paper. I found a coloring book I didn't like, but it was an artist edition, so the paper was really good. So I just tear them out, the pages, and printed on the back of the paper. So this is a PDF I bought from Jen Katz on Instagram, her mushroom page with a lot of mushrooms. And this was really fun and quite fast to color. I used water-based markers for it, and my plan was to go over it with colored pencils after for adding shadows and contrasts and more color. But well, it didn't look that good. It didn't look that good when I added it over the markers, so it's mostly markers. I think it's a combination of Pitt Artist pens and SIG Clean Color Real Brush, and the background is Posca pen, I think, a green one. And I joined this Johanna Basford 30 Days of Flowers event, and because her idea was that people who don't color every day should just have a little small flower each day and see if they benefit from coloring every day. And I do color every day already, so this was, I don't need this project, I don't need these flowers, but it was fun to join. And for a long time I was behind and I thought that I was going to skip it, but then I saw her flip through our upcoming book, and I got new inspiration and thought that, well, this is kind of fun to do these flowers, so I done them all. At least the first 15 flowers. Now it's a new sheet for this month and I have done one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it or not. And I did a postcard from Emily Lidehäll Öberg's postcard book Ingen vanlig dag, I think it is. Not just another day, not just an ordinary day, I think you can translate that too. And this was for another color along on Instagram from my friend Penny, and it was her birthday month, so she had this Cakes for Penny color along. So it was late, I was late, but it was still September when I finished it. And I learned a lot from doing this. I used water-based markers on this too, and some pencils for shading. But the background, the black background, I don't think I will ever do the same again. I did one layer of Pitt Artist Pen, but it was a bit, it was not even, so I put a layer of Koi, that is water-based, like watercolor pen over it, and then it was quite good. But then I got this idea to add clear sparkle, what is the name? Wink of Stella sparkle on it, on the whole background, everywhere where it's black. But that sparkle made it a bit gray and took some of the black away, and it didn't look good. So then I covered that sparkle with acrylic paint, and it's still not quite even, but it's better, but all the sparkle is gone, and yeah, there are much more easy way to do black backgrounds, but anyhow. So now you've seen them all. Thank you for watching and see you later. Keep coloring, have fun!